Coming up on this edition of Command Center, Coach Commands with Ron Rivera.
At the end of the day, we know we're in control.
The goal is, same thing, to win.
Win these two games, we're in the playoffs. So let's win these two games.
While the year 2022 is coming to an end, the Commanders' season rolls on. This team still controls its own playoff destiny. I'll talk with Coach about how he is approaching these last two games of the regular season. The next game up is a New Year's Day matchup with the Cleveland Browns. Coach Rivera will give us some insight into how they are preparing for Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett, and company. And Coach got to give out some really good news to some of his players last week. We will relive those moments and talk about how it all came together right now.
Can't ask for more, man. Can't ask for more.
Command Center, Coach Commands with Ron Rivera is presented by your local Honda dealer. This holiday season, start making memories with a new Honda. And during Happy Honda Days, find the perfect Honda for you. Don't wait. Visit your local Honda dealer today. And welcome on in. Julie Donaldson here with the head coach Ron Rivera. Of course, Logan Paulsen is getting set and ready to go over some game tape with Coach Rivera. Still got good hands, Coach?
Yes, she does.
Sign him up. Sign him up. Okay, let's get straight into this one. I don't know how the season goes by so fast. I feel like it's an incredibly long season, but here we are with just two games to go, and we really want to get beyond that. What's the message then to the players this week, understanding you have to win to do that?
Well, the big thing is really this is a playoff atmosphere, and it's about what we want to do. Again, if we go out and do the things that we're capable of, play to our ability, we give ourselves a great chance to win. And that's the thing that we have to focus in on is what we're hoping to do, what we plan to do, what we've worked to do all week.
And you decided to make a change at quarterback, going back to Carson Wentz. What all went into that decision?
Well, there was a lot of things. I mean, the last three games that we played, we've come out with two losses and a tie, and they're all three close games. For a while, the San Francisco game was close into the third quarter, but as things kind of went a little awry, the thing that I'm looking for is a little bit of a spark. Not necessarily just because you're going to put it on one position, but we're looking for something a little bit different. And I think this gives us an opportunity to see what we can do, with Carson back there as well.
Look, you brought Carson here for a reason. How does the play calling now change with him back there? Because he is a very different quarterback than Taylor Heineke.
Well, one thing is we do anticipate running the football first and foremost. But secondly, I think some of the play action stuff that we have with some of the routes can be different, just because of the arm strength. The arm talent's a little bit different. So some of those routes will be different.
Well, the Browns, they will let you run on them, so it should be a good day on the ground game. But you can now take advantage of maybe that depth and the arm strength that he does have, which is one of the reasons you did want him here as well. But where are you in the chemistry with him, with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel? Because that's something we talk a lot about they need.
Well, I thought it was pretty good, in the experience that he had in this game. I mean, some of the balls he threw were right on the money. Some of the balls were thrown to the different receivers. He threw the ball to 5 different receivers. So there is that vision that he has, I think, to distribute the ball, and that's what we're going to try and work on as we get into this game.
As your offensive line has gone through a lot of different shuffles and changes, Taylor Heineke has been able to kind of use his legs to escape that. But we saw San Fran bring a lot of pressure on Carson as well. You have Myles Garrett coming. Where are you in that?
The biggest thing, Julie, when you watched him, when Carson felt the pressure, he's got this quick twitch, this ability to get the ball out quickly, which he did a couple times on some of the pressures he read right off the bat. He got the ball out. A couple times he was able to stand tall in the pocket, absorb a little bit of that and then get the ball out as well, which he did because of the arm strength. So there is a little bit of give and take. What we lose in terms of the mobility from Taylor, we're going to gain with a little bit more with the arm strength and the quickness. All
right, looking forward to seeing what this offense is under Carson Wentz now versus when we were earlier in the season. Now, defensively, the offense for them is a little bit different with Deshaun Watson out there. What do you need to see from your defense to take advantage of him still trying to get back into the game?
Well, I think first we have to be very disciplined in our game. One thing that they do very well again is they do run the ball. So we've got to be able to shut the run down. That will make their play action void. If we don't, again, because of Deshaun's athletic ability and his ability to get outside the pocket and improvise, he can make things tough on us. So again, we've got to be disciplined. We've got to be able to contain the quarterback, shut the run game down first and foremost, and give ourselves that opportunity to be able to now, once we can get him into third and long, we can put our ears back in pass rush.
You've faced a lot of of good running backs. Nick Chubb, just another one. Is he different than what you've seen before?
I think he's one of the better ones in this league. I really do. He's a terrific football player. He's a good runner. They've got a good running scheme. They really do. Coach Callan has done a nice job with that group of offensive linemen that they have. They're a physical bunch, and again, we've got to be able to set vertical edges. We've got to be able to keep the ball constricted and not allow those creases to open, because Nick Chubb going downhill, he's a load.
And how is it having Chase Young back?
It's pretty exciting. It really is. He started off a little tentative. And what was interesting is in preparation for this game, I actually went back and watched the 2020 game just to kind of watch it. And I got to watch our defensive guys do some things against the 49ers in 2020. And one guy that stood out was 99. Well, as I got to review the game this past week, from this past Sunday, or Saturday, I got a chance to watch him, and he did some things that were very similar to back in the day. So I'm pretty excited. I hope to see him take another step going forward this week.
Now, while Coach heads over to the touchscreen, let's talk about one of the stars of our special teams unit, and now for the first time in his career, a Pro Bowl player, Jeremy Reaves. His reaction to getting the news went viral, and we'll have more on that a little bit later, but he has certainly been worthy of the selection. Reaves' play on the special teams unit has been on display this season, and he's even getting some reps with the defense while the team deals with some injuries. Now, while he has been a standout on special teams, here's a look at the numbers, including the defensive backfield efforts that he has. He's put up 25 tackles, 16 of them solo, and 1 passes defended. Now, for more on what makes him a Pro Bowl player, let's send it over to Coach and Logan in the film room. It is presented by Mavenspire. Ransomware goes 3 and out with Mavenspire's Smart as a Service cybersecurity offerings. Learn more at mavenspire.com. Okay, guys, take it away.
Thanks, Julie. Coach, always excited to talk to you about this defense. And I know it wasn't the performance you wanted yesterday or on Sunday, but there were some exciting performances, specifically by a guy, Jeremy Reaves. He did an excellent job. Special teams Pro Bowl guy, but played well in the context of the defense. And here are some plays I thought he just did an excellent job of, Coach. This is the first play, not the first play, but it's a keeper action here coming across. And I think he just does an excellent job after he rotates deep to come back and match this concept. So let's just take this play out real quick. Again, gets back in that rotation, understands what's going on. You get a nice job by Montez Sweat here, forcing the throw, and then you get a nice job by Jeremy matching the crosser in this kind of zone Y match concept and making an excellent pass breakup.
Absolutely, and basically the biggest thing more than anything else is with the crosser, okay? What Jeremy does again is with his eyes and vision into the quarterback, he knows he now has the crosser. So he's going to drive down to pick this man up. Okay, because again of the pass rush and the pressure, the timing is thrown off a little bit, because again, if you look at it, he out leverages the linebacker. And because he's gotten past the linebacker now, that receiver is technically open. But again, the pass rush, what we've gotten from the pass rush has given us a lot of opportunities to make plays like this. This is a heck of a play by Jeremy coming down to make it.
Yeah, and this is something that I wasn't expecting from him, Coach. I always see him as like this physical tackler, but he had a couple nice PBUs or almost PBUs in this game, and I thought this was a perfect example of that, getting his hand in there, no PI. Great job by him. And the other thing we just talked about, he did an excellent job against the run, Coach. Here he is, setting the edge. And you guys, this Kyle Shanahan offense, they want to run laterally to get downhill. But if you can't run laterally, there's nowhere to stretch the defense and everyone stays home. He does an excellent job of this, just setting a nice vertical edge and forcing the ball back, chinning George Kittle, forcing the ball back into the teeth of this defense.
And that's exactly what you have to do, especially as the guy that's got force. And what you really love on this more so than anything else is the way he and Chase are working in tandem. He's getting upfield on Kittle. Okay, and then again, you see Chase get his push on his man, and now all of a sudden there is no place to go. He's got to cut back, and he's cutting back into the teeth of the defense.
And again, Payne here does an excellent job with his hands, shedding a pretty good guard there. Young player, makes a nice tackle. You love to see that kind of physicality, Coach, and guys just making plays, working together, really. Here's another one. He's coming from depth, Reeves, and I love his just intent and his willingness to get to the football. You see that special teams mentality right here. He comes up, makes a nice fit on this gap scheme run here, says, "What's up, McCaffrey? Get out of here." Shoulder to the face mask. Like that mentality, but there's a lot of other good stuff going on here as well.
Absolutely, because if you get a chance to watch this, watch the way it's read by the linebackers. The linebackers are all reading their keys. Both Jamin and Mayo get to the spots they need to, because Mayo's downhill. That ball's now going to try and bounce all the way outside. Ideally, sometimes on these plays, they want to try and crease you inside. Okay, but because Mayo gets downhill, because Jonathan does his job, okay, now that ball's got to bounce. Now it's going sideways as opposed to downhill. We got a really good setup right here on the outside. We got Jamin there for force. We got support behind by St. Juice. And, of course, now Jeremy, fitting from depth inside, makes the tackle with Jamin.
And it's cool because Jeremy gets the credit for that tackle, but everybody's doing their job. And I love watching good run fits like that, Coach, because it's a physical mindset, and it shows they're well coached.
Well, the beauty of this particular play, too, if you look at it, take away the far corner.
Yep.
We've got 10 guys in the string.
10 guys in the shot.
That means defense is making their reads, defense is playing down. And these guys played very well, especially in this game, because if you look at it, one of the things that they did, we held San Francisco 1 for 5 in the red zone.
Yeah.
That showed you these guys were playing pretty good football. If we could have made a couple things happen, I think we had a chance.
Yeah, got to get support from the offense, definitely, Coach. Another good play here from Jeremy is just, again, it's really hard to tackle this young man, as you know, is really hard to tackle him in space. And I think Jeremy does an excellent job, again, coming from depth here to make this play.
Well, first and foremost, again, you got to give credit to Bobby. Bobby McCain gets downhill. Okay, he forces it back inside again to where the teeth is. Now here comes the rest of it. David Mayo's coming in to fit in. He's going to force it back inside as well. I mean, outside to his leverage tackler, and that's what happens when Jeremy comes in and gets in and makes the play.
Yeah, you just love to see a young guy getting his opportunity, getting the Pro Bowl, getting all this stuff, and just making plays when he had to make them, and fitting in this defense, which actually did, like you said, a pretty solid job despite the score. Coach, can't wait to see more plays like this coming up this weekend.
Appreciate it.
And don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Coach and Logan are heading into Coach's office to review some of the game tape on the Cleveland Browns. Find out how the team is game planning for Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett. And a little later, Coach and I will talk about these awesome moments when he got to surprise his players with the news of their Pro Bowl selections. That's ahead on Command Center. Coach Commands with Ron Rivera, presented by your local Honda dealer. And welcome back. We want you to ring in the new year with the Washington Commanders. The Commanders host the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, January 1st at 1 p.m. at FedEx Field for their fan appreciation game, featuring tons of giveaways. Plus, they are honoring the legendary Hogs offensive lineman. Coach Joe Gibbs will be honorary captain for the game, and the team mascot will be revealed. Tickets start at just $50. Visit commanders.com/tickets to get your tickets today. And yes, the team will be revealing their new mascot on Sunday, and this graphic has been dropped on social media teasing the release. It's all sponsored by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Time now for some healthy competition, presented by Ortho Virginia, the official orthopedic and sports medicine partner of the Washington Commanders. And here's a look at how these two teams match up on paper. Washington just finished its road season at 4-3-1, which is its first winning road record since 2016. This team is one win away from collecting their most wins in a season since that same year, 16 as well. Cleveland's entering week 17 as one of 8 teams eliminated from the playoff contention, with a losing record for the 14th time in the last 15 seasons. The Browns have 2 big names on both sides of the ball leading the team. Offensively, it's Deshaun Watson under center, after the team traded for him in the offseason and gave him a mega deal. He's now out on the field. And defensively, they have Myles Garrett, and he is a force to be reckoned with and someone that this team is going to have to account for. So how are they game planning for what is a playoff game against the Cleveland Browns? Well, let's go inside Coach's office with Coach and Logan for this one. It is the Rivera Review, presented by DC Prime. All stakes are not created equal.
Coach, got the Cleveland Browns coming up this week. Kind of a must-win, kind of a playoff atmosphere type game versus a team that's kind of having some of their own struggles, but also playing well in some certain areas, specifically at the quarterback position. Lots of stories around that. Him as a player and him as a person, but I think him as a player, he's starting to improve in that area. What do you think?
Well, I think he's getting his feet back under him. Again, this is a guy, and let's don't forget, he's missed almost 2 full seasons of football.
Yeah, that's right.
So now he's back in it. He's getting his groove a little bit. I also think they're trying to figure out and understand how they can use him as their quarterback.
I see.
What offenses fit him, what schemes, as far as the run game, as far as the passing game, and with his athletic ability as a runner.
Yeah.
do you now start to incorporate the RPOs and the zone reads?
Which is traditionally not something Stefanski's been, like that's not been a big part of what he does, right?
Correct.
But in addition to all the quarterback design run stuff, he does, I played with him when I was in Houston, he does have this kind of knack for creating off schedule. And this play is a screen play that the Bengals do a great job of sniffing out, and he is able to kind of elevate this play and make an explosive out of it.
He does. He's great with his improvisation. And again, this is one of those things that a young man with his athletic ability, what's the best way to use the guy?
Yeah.
So here's a great example of, again, why an RPO system would suit the young man. Because, again, just the whole fact that he has the read pass option, and off of the pass option, he has the ability to run the ball as well. So that's really what you're getting here.
Yeah.
You're getting a screen. He knows he can go to the screen. Now, all of a sudden, it's red, so I can't dump the ball, so I'm going to improvise. And again, he improvises and makes something happen. And this is one thing you got to give them credit. Their offensive linemen are disciplined enough to understand that you don't go downfield until the ball's released.
Obviously, defensively, they're having a hard time. They kind of a lot of mistakes. Here's a 3rd and short situation where they're matching up with man-to-man coverage. They seem to be pretty consistent with this coach. It seems like a good spot to take a shot. But anytime you're taking a shot, you got to negotiate number 95, who's one of the best defensive ends in the NFL.
Yes, and one of the things that, again, you've just got to understand is that wherever he's aligned, who has him is responsible for him. Predominantly, he's on the offensive left. Okay, when the ball snapped on this, he's wider than normal. Tight end forces him out there, which, again, you'd like to think that the tackle has a little bit more time, but because what they're doing is, again, they are pressure rushing
the
linebacker. So look at him. He's focused in on the linebacker just in case he's the blitzer.
Right.
And ideally, you let the widest guy go.
But that's Myles Garrett in this case, which isn't a good deal, right?
So again, they do some things that kind of mix you up, and this was one of them.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, that's you playing chess and everybody else playing checkers. Because I didn't even think of that. I thought, this is the run they're going to run. But the idea that they can grow and develop around Deshaun and his skill set is always a really fascinating conversation. Coach, thank you so much for having me. I learned so much every time we talk. Really appreciate it.
All right.
On game days, do not miss Command Center Game Day Live, the official pregame show of the Washington Commanders. We are live on the air starting 2 hours before kickoff, so that's 11 a.m. tomorrow. You can watch on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. And after the game, do not miss Command Center Postgame Live for reaction analysis and interviews with Head Coach Ron Rivera. You can also find that on YouTube. Take command of your game days. Now stick around, because when we come back, Coach will be back here with me in the studio to talk about this incredible, emotional moment he and Jeremy Reaves shared when he told Jeremy he was going to his first Pro Bowl. You don't want to miss it. It's next on Command Center. Coach Commands with Ron Rivera, presented by your local Honda dealer. It is time for a Winning Legacy, presented by the Maryland Lottery. Play fast, win fast, and new fast play games from the Maryland Lottery. And Head Coach Ron Rivera got to give some winning news to some players building a legacy here in Washington. Check it out.
Hold on, wait till we finish here, okay?
Ooh, my bad, Coach. Sorry,
Jimmy, give me a second, Jimmy. I gotta talk to you.
I didn't even knock. I apologize.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Jimmy.
How you doing?
Listen, congratulations, you're a Pro Bowl player.
Oh my gosh, you got me.
No, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Coach.
No, I'm very proud, very happy.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Pro Bowl player.
Oh, dope. That's
yes,
what's up.
you are, man. I'm proud of you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. You knew, didn't you?
I had a feeling. I ain't want to add.
You know, you showed everybody why you're the face of our franchise.
I appreciate that, Coach.
No,
Thanks
proud
for
of you,
telling
man.
me. Yes, sir.
Jonathan Allen,
Cool.
Tress Way,
Nice.
and Jeremy Reaves.
That's big time. Reeves got in?
Yeah,
That's what's up. He deserves it.
He's the special
He's a
teams
difference
guy.
maker.
Yeah.
He's been a difference maker all year for us.
I'm only going to tell you one other guy, okay? And
Can I ask who?
Yeah,
Who?
Jeremy.
Oh my
Now,
God!
but you can't say anything, okay? I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him right after his defensive meeting. Okay?
Oh hell no! Pull him out of that, man. Are you kidding me? Could you? I wanna be here when you tell him. I'll hide, but like, can I be here when you tell Reeves?
Yeah, you can. I'm happy to have you here. You, Jeremy? No, yeah. don't mind him. We're just finished. I got to finish that up in a second. But listen, congratulations. You're the Pro Bowl special teams guy. You're the starter. You earned it, young man. Everything you've done, and I know your mom would be proud. You earned it, young man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yo, he wouldn't stop.
Congrats, dude.
Love you too.
Thank you, man.
All right. Nah, you earned it. Like I said, man, I just appreciate you trusting me.
Always, Coach. Told you I want to do a brick wall for you.
Nah, I know you would too. Well, I appreciate you. I'm very proud of you. I really am. Nah, you earned it, young man.
Thank you.
You earned it.
Yes, sir.
That's freaking awesome.
Coach, I still get goosebumps, and I could watch that 100 times over. But what was it like for you being able to deliver that news for those guys, especially to Jeremy Reaves? Because his story, people don't even have to know who he is or follow the Commanders to be touched by that video.
No, I agree. And you know, the big thing about it was like Jonathan getting his second after we'd given him his contract last year that he earned. And then now Terry getting his first after he earned the contract. And then anybody that's been steady for us this year, it really, truly has been Trust Way. But the guy that's got the tremendous story more than anything else is Jeremy. So telling him really, that was really a cool thing for me personally. It really was, because here's a young man that we actually cut my first year, but we put him on practice squad. And I told him, I promise you that when we get an opportunity, we'll bring you up. And I did. And when he came up, he played lights out ever since, and he's been a big part of what we've been trying to build here.
And even why we were talking about him today in the show as well is because he's making the most of his opportunities, and man, couldn't happen to better guys. And of course, that's a testament to the coaching staff as well. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching Coach Commands with head coach Ron Rivera. We'll see you next time.